Welcome to another episode of Golden Nuggets, Tips and Tales, powered by Property Finder, the platform that celebrates top real estate talent and helps the best get even better. We're going to be exploring exclusive tools from Property Finder that enables and empowers agents to grow, perform, and lead. Today, I'm joined by Alba, Cavallo, Esclapez, who has been one of Property Finder's super agents since day one. And not only that, but she's managed to retain super agent status for the past 3 years. What does being a Property Finder super agent mean to you, and how does it differentiate you from regular agents?
I remember when I first got the badge, I was like, whoa, is that like a superpower? What's going to happen with this now, right? It does give you a lot more visibility. I have never been much one of those agents that does Instagram or marketing videos. I'm trying to get more into it now.
That's a rarity in itself, an agent that's not...
I'm quite shy. Maybe not when I'm talking on a one-on-one, but in that case, yes. For people like me, I would say that are not really as present on social media, it does give you a lot more exposure. I have received listings or clients calling me just by searching through the SuperAgent feature on the portal, and I was like, okay, you're calling about a specific listing. And they're like, no, I've just checked your profile. And so I want to give you my property portfolio. So it does help. It does make a difference. It does make you stand out. And I think it gives you more that trust and transparency when it comes to then dealing with the new clients that you obviously add to your portfolio. Yeah.
And can you just tell the audience what goes into you retaining super agent status?
You obviously have to make sure that your listings are up to date, that the data that you provide for clients is accurate, that you are closing deals, because you have to obviously mention to keep your credibility as well. Submit all your documents. There's a lot of listings nowadays that I know they're getting filtered every time more, but listings that are not actually on the market and without the verification of documents, you can't really give that credibility back to the client once again. So it's just ticking all the boxes and make sure that you're consistent. What I try to do usually every Monday, that's like one of my priorities to start the week, go through my listings, check that everything is still in place, and then keep going with the week, right?
So you have to, if something is not available any longer, unlike a lot of agents will keep it on the platform for a little bit longer because they're going to still get phone calls from it. Yeah. There's nothing more annoying, is there, than and I've been on the other side where I'm calling up and I hear that common phrase, oh, it's no longer available, but tell me what you're looking for and I'll check for something else.
It can be frustrating, and both from a client perspective, also for an agent perspective. I work a lot with my own buyers network, so I do not mind collaborating with other agents. And as an agent myself, I go through the portal trying to work with other agents, and you find that most of the times those properties are not there. And it's a waste of time for you. It's a waste of time for the client. If the property is not available, it's going to be me making excuses to the client, trying to pitch something else. And is one of them agents like, oh, no, I don't have this, but I can get you this other one at this other price. It comes down to your reputation as well at the end of the day, right?
And speaking of reputation, one other thing that is a measure or a metric of retaining Property Finder super agent status is your response times. So it's no good having the listing, looks lovely, beautiful description, it's available, but I can't get hold of you. So what's your strategy for making sure you don't miss a lead, you don't miss a call, and you get back to everyone on time?
That is, I would say, a daily struggle, because with this job as well, you're really busy on a daily basis. And sometimes you're in meetings, sometimes you're in viewings with clients, and you obviously do not want to take that break quickly for the call and the message.
It seems rude, doesn't it?
Yeah, I agree, for sure. But you have to understand that obviously your reputation at the end of the day, it is like your business card in this business, right? It's what is going to, at the end, get you the traction of those clients. What I do, for instance, especially with the WhatsApp leads that you receive, I just click the button right away. At least they get an automatic message from my side. And as soon as I'm done with what I'm doing, I get straight back at it. For the phone calls, not everybody does it, but it's good to have maybe a PA that could just take the call if you're not available and then just catch up afterwards. So the response rates obviously are really important. And sometimes you get calls even like at 11, 12 in the evenings. I work a lot with international clients.
Round the clock.
Exactly. I have my Zoom catch-up calls in the evenings. Sometimes I've had calls literally like over past midnight, and people are like, why are you even entertaining it? And I'm like, why are you not? At the end of the day, people want to talk to you. And if that's when they're available, it is what it is, right? It is a 24/7 job. And being available, it definitely makes a big difference.
And are there any other differentiators between a super agent and a non-super agent?
I guess the visibility you get on the portal as well. Your listings will obviously appear on the front pages. The lead generation that you create from that as well makes a different impact.
You get 5 times more leads.
You see a lot more transaction and lead conversion coming through it, for sure, yes.
And when you're as you said, you're a buyer's agent, mostly, would you say you're a buyer's agent?
Yeah, I would say so.
So you really rely on other agents to have the listings. So a lot of your work is in collaboration with other agents. Is your default going to another property finder super agent or whoever has the listing?
It really depends. When it comes to specific communities, I try to build relationships with agents that I've already worked with, or they already have their own reputation, right? And to be honest, most of the times when you look up their properties online, they are super agents already. You need to have that reliable source when you do not have the product that you want to offer your client. Most of the times, as I said, the people that actually build that connection, they are in the super agent section. So it's an easy find, yeah.
And you've now built, like 3 years into your career, you've built quite a strong referral network. Most of your business is repeat business or recommendations. Tell us how you got to that stage.
I have been almost 5 years now in the industry, and when you start, you're a bit lost. You do know people. I had been in Dubai for 5 years already, so you do have certain connections, but you had to create a new persona of yourself in the new industry and in your business, right? I'm quite of a transparent person. If you come at me asking me for a project that I personally don't like, or I wouldn't put my money into it, I'm going to tell you, no, I'm not selling you this. And I think a lot of clients that I had since the beginning appreciated that from my side, that I would rather redirect them to something else. Or even though if eventually ended up buying what they wanted, I would still give them my peace of mind, saying, okay, I'll help you buy it. But that's not what I would do. I think through that honesty that I've had, it's built more trust within the business that we've been doing during the years. And automatically, whenever somebody has asked them for any tips or anybody to rely on, even if it's just a simple question regarding a legal document related to real estate, it's automatically my number passed down. And that is obviously key in this busy market nowadays as well. I work a lot with international clients. I have a lot of clients that are abroad, and I'm even their POA here in the country.
That's the ultimate display of trust, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
Being someone's power of attorney.
And they have sometimes friends, investors as well, that are here just simply on holidays. And whenever they ask, oh, I'm looking for, I just receive calls. And it's amazing not having to rely on a lead generation kind of system. And it actually makes you feel like really proud of the way you do your work, because it's like, okay, so-and-so gave my number again. Thank you very much. So yeah, it makes a huge difference. And for me, it's basically the basis of the success of my business.
And so what would your advice be to someone who's maybe in their first year as a real estate agent? So coming from your 5 years, 3 of them being a property finder super agent, what would you be telling someone who's in their first year?
I would say from start, don't look into things as a transaction mindset, more a relationship mindset. Treat all your leads as the start of a new relationship. At the end, that's what's actually going to bring you business in the longer term. If you just do a transaction, a good deal, that's probably going to just burn out there and nothing's going to come really through it. But if you do make that relationship, if you do maintain the relationship with your client, is where you will see actually things coming through.
Any tales? Any tales from one of your longer standing clients?
Yeah, I have a funny. I actually need to catch up with them later. They are South Americans. They were trying to find an agent here when they were on holidays a long time ago. And they called 3 people, nobody replied, and then randomly found me. I think through the SuperAgent actually filter, because they were not looking into specific listings anymore. We had a couple of calls. They really liked how straight up honest I was with them, with things that they proposed, things that I said not to even look into. They had never been here really, just once on holidays. They didn't know anybody in town. And without a couple of calls, I suggested a few things. We ended up going for the first project they purchased. And they gave me the POA like full powers with no little single thing left out. And I remember a couple of days later, the husband calls me and he's like, I have to say, I don't think my wife has never trusted or given such a thing to nobody. And it's like, bear in mind, we don't even know you in person.
Oh, you hadn't even met yet?
I haven't met them in person. No, it was just a couple of Zoom calls and that was it. And everything was very smooth. I think they were really reassured that I was there just looking out for them. Speaking the same language helps.
Yeah.
It is a big thing as well in this market, I would say. And ever since, I've helped them build their portfolio. And whenever they have friends, investors coming in town, that's the number that they pass on all the time. Last month, I had 2 other friends here as well investing. A couple of months ago, same. So whenever they have anybody that inquires about real estate or Dubai in general, it's me automatically what they suggest to. Yeah, so
there you have it. A property finder super agent doesn't just sell more, they serve you better. Hope you enjoyed that. Tips and tales. Binge out on the whole season.